Shalom, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash, double honors unto our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. This is your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami camp, Great Millstone Broward camp. And I'm just coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, Lobel and this edifying. This is going to be a quick exhortation to the Akim of what time we're living in. Okay, just to remember that the Lord is coming back like a thief in the night. Okay, the Lord wants to catch us off guard. The Lord wants to catch us off guard. Okay, I'm saying us because I'm included. Nobody is exempt. Okay, and truly that's because the Lord wants to see, which he already knows, but the Lord is about making all things manifest. Nothing is hidden before him. Nothing is secret before him. Okay, the Lord knows all and sees all, but when he judges, he always makes it manifest why he judges the way that he judges, so that we may have wisdom, so that we may have sound judgment. Okay, we always say that we are judges in training. We are being groomed to be the future rulers of the universe. Okay, so the Lord is all about making his judgments clear so that we may know what to do and what not to do, and so that we can judge properly. Okay? And a lot of the times, off-guard pictures are the best pictures. Okay? You get to see people for who they truly are, not posing. Okay, when people pose for a picture, they put on their best smile. Okay, forgive me for the background noise. Right, they put on their best image, and a lot of times that's not sincere. A lot of times it's phony. Okay, a lot of times, like with these different celebrities and so-called influencers, they can be total douchebags in real life, but when the cameras come out, they put on a different type of image because they're actors, which is what the word hypocrite means. Okay, so the Lord wants to catch us off guard so that our true nature, our true intentions are shown. And that's why the scriptures say, that's why Yahweh Shai said that he's coming back as a thief in the night. A thief doesn't tell you when he's coming to rob you. He wants to catch you when you least expect it. And that's exactly how the Lord is returning. He wants to catch us when we least expect it. Even though he left signs and warnings so that we may be on our best behavior, but those that are not truly of the elect won't regard the signs truly. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with this. This is the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 42, and it has a good subheading. It says, "Be ready for his coming. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come." Right, we don't know the exact day the Lord is coming. Although we know that we're on a any day basis for all hell to break loose and a couple more prophecies to take place, and the Lord can be on a any day basis with his coming. We're in the season of the Lord's return. The exact day we don't know. Okay, but we believe strongly that it's in a matter of months. Okay, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, right? But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Okay, so a father, someone who has authority and guard of a home, if he knew a thief was coming, he would be ready. He would be sitting at the door with the pump. Okay? Verse 44, therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. And also, like it says in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For ye know perfectly that the Lord cometh back as a thief in the night. So the elect know this, but the rest of the world doesn't know this. The rest of the world are sleeping. And you have certain individuals in Israel are sleeping as well. Although they know they're Israelites, although they know the Lord is coming back eventually, you got certain guys talking about he could come back in 1,000 years. So obviously, they don't think the Lord is coming back in a matter of months. Right? Verse 45, who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season. What's that meat? Our reward for doing this work. Because we're going to get a reward. Everyone is going to get a reward. Everyone is going to get a just desert, whether they've been doing good or evil, whether they have been redeeming the times, as the scriptures say, making good use of their time, or whether they've been squandering it. Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. And it make me think of that old show, Undercover Boss, which was a pretty entertaining show, which the premise of the show was you had different companies and they would bring cameras into these companies and film the employees giving service to customers or doing or accomplishing their duties and how they actually performed at these companies. And they would bring the CEO or someone high up, a high executive of the company, most of the time a CEO or a founder, and they would act like a customer or act like a lower level employee, and they will observe the behavior of certain employees, and the employees thinking that this person is just a regular guy, a customer or a lower level employee, their true nature would come out. Because of course, if they knew that this person was the CEO or the founder, they would be on their best behavior. And the people who performed at a high level, the people who showed kindness, the people who showed good customer service, and an actual care of the job of the company would be rewarded. Oftentimes they would be given a promotion, a bonus, or some type of prize at the end of the show once it's revealed that person who they thought was just a regular guy was indeed the CEO. And the people who were acting like assholes, people who were effing off on a job, often got fired. And when it was revealed who the CEO was, they would look stupid. And that's exactly how the Lord is coming, like an undercover boss. The scriptures speak about how many going to be in astonishment when the Lord returns. The Lord wants to catch people slipping so that their true nature would be shown. If the inhabitants of the earth knew the Lord was coming back tomorrow, their behavior would change drastically. Hell, even us, if we knew the Lord was coming back tomorrow, brothers would be fasting, reading doing videos all day. I'm speaking for myself first. I know I would. But that's why the scriptures say he's coming back the way he's coming. But guess what? If you stay on point, you don't have to get on point. Again, I'm speaking to myself first. If you stay on point, you don't have to get on point because you're already on point. So this is the mindset that we all need to pray for and work toward. So you don't have to worry about anything. That's why Yahushua said, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. The scriptures also say, give diligence to make thy calling and election sure. For if he do these things, he shall never fall. So if we give diligence, if we stay on our best behavior, then we don't have to worry about what hour the Lord is actually coming back. If we maintain good works, whenever he come back, we'll be good. Which I believe I heard the Apostle Elder Tahar say years ago. I'm not very concerned with when the Lord is coming back, because I love doing the work. Roughly paraphrasing, I love doing the work, and I'm always doing the work. So he's gonna come when he comes. I'm just making sure I gotta do what I gotta do, which is a perfect mindset to have in this truth. So now is not the time to get comfortable. Now is not the time to be laxed. Like Apostle Elder Rakah like to say, it's not the time for cooling in the shade, sipping a little lemonade. All right? Now is the time to be on fire. Because the Lord can put us in a trick bag. Yahushua said, I'd rather ye be hot or cold. But since ye are lukewarm, I will spew thee out of my mouth. So the Lord can get us before he comes back. He can allow us to think that being comfortable is okay. And you slowly drift away. And before you know it, you're not even in this thing no more. Which is scary. Okay, this is serious business. Verse 47, verily I say unto you that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. What's that? A promotion. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, meaning you're not actually saying this with your mouth. This is what your mindset, this is your mentality. In the back of your mind, subconsciously, you think the Lord is not coming back soon. So your behavior follows after that. You start slacking off. You start getting comfortable. Little things that you swore you never do, things that you may have judged others for, you begin to do. Things that you thought were so wrong in the first year, second year, third year, starts to seem okay. It's not that bad. Right? You start focusing on the wrong things. Right? You start caring more for the things of this world. And your spiritual output decreases. Again, I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. Okay? We all need to, as the scriptures say, seek out your own salvation with fear and trembling. But we must warn each other. That's why we do these videos. Okay? But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants and to eat and drink with the drunken, right? You start getting concerned with the things of the world. You start scoffing and mocking against the men that taught you and the men that you did the work with, there's plenty of examples. We don't got to name them. Right? You start teaching things contrary to what you were taught. You're no longer, teaching the correct doctrine. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. All right, that's scary. All right, Yahushua in the cut, that's a scary sight. We don't want to get cut asunder, right? Cut into pieces and left out there. Nah, we don't want that. Okay. This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh's sacrifice, right? The Lord's coming back to sacrifice niggas, that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such are clothed with strange apparel. Right? You got leaders and officers and people within Israel that know they're Israel, that teach in Israel. They are the modern day heads of Israel. The Lord said he's going to punish them, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. In the NLT it says following pagan customs. Right? How are you clothed with strange apparel? Well, first and foremost, the proper attire, like you go into work, you have a business attire. You have a uniform. You're supposed to represent the company, right? Well, we're representing the company. We're representing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we must be in proper attire, proper uniform. Which is what? This truth, this 100% truth. Teaching exactly what's supposed to be taught, moving exactly the way we're supposed to move in the spirit. Clothing is spiritual. That's why the fashion industry of this world is ran by Satanists. All right, the word fashion means to what? Mold. That's why a company has a uniform. Everybody, uniform, one form, one fashion. We all should be in the same fashion. In order. Okay, Yahushua gave a parable of the wedding, the feast, and those being carried out that didn't come in proper attire. They didn't have on a wedding garment. Right? You have people that know they're Israel, teaching Israel, maybe wearing their tassels or fringes, and they think that that's the most important thing, yet spiritually they are clothed with strange apparel. They're clothed with the ways of this world spiritually. In their inward mind, they're still trying to make this thing a worldly thing. Okay? I'm going to jump down. Verse 12, it says, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. So again, this is an inward thought. It's not something that you're actually saying. This is your nature. This is your true intention, subconsciously, that you think no one knows about. But the Lord knows. In the NLT, it says, I will search with lanterns in Jerusalem's darkest corners to punish those who sit complacent in their sins. They think the Lord will do nothing to them, either good or bad. Okay, that's why I highlight the importance of shadow work. Learn about shadow work. Learn about your inward nature. Learn about your own psychology and why you do things and what drives you and motivates you. Things that you're afraid to think about. We all have darkness within us. We all have the darkest corners in our mind, things we try to hide, things we try to avoid. But the Lord sees it. Okay? I speak about the analogy of having a room and you clean up the visible areas of the room, but the invisible areas you leave messy. You can't say that you have a clean house if you're, the house look clean, but you open the closet and shit just start pouring out. You look under the rug and there's all type of shit under the rug. The house is still dirty. Okay? Because verse 14 says, the great day of Yahweh is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh. By Hashem Yahweh Shai. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly. This is going to be a sad day, man. For the inhabitants of the earth. But for the elect, it's going to be the greatest day ever. Only if you prepare for that. And are fully prepared mentally, physically, and spiritually. Most important, spiritually. The day, or that day, is a day of wrath. A day of trouble and distress. A day of wasteness and desolation. A day of darkness and gloominess. A day of clouds and thick darkness. A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And we know Babylon the Great is number one on that list. AKA America. The so-called United States. Which we know how this place is going to end. Alright? And I will bring distress upon men that they shall walk like blind men. Because they have sinned against the Lord. And their blood shall be poured out as dust. And their flesh as the dung. Fear is the greatest motivator. Pain can be the greatest motivator. Okay? So that's pretty much it. This is just something I wanted to highlight and to remind us of. Lord willing, it was edifying with that. I'm going to say shalom.